What's up, filmmakers? Today we're taking a look at Weeylite's K21 light sticks. I'll show you how you can use them creatively on music videos, interviews, product videos, and social media content. And we'll also go through all the settings on these lights, and I'll show you how they work. Firstly, let's talk specs. These 8-watt tube lights are RGB. Their CCT color range is from 2500 Kelvin to 8500 Kelvin, and they have built-in special effects with 3 speed levels. All these settings can be controlled on the back of the light or by using the Weeylite Pro App on your phone. The battery lifetime is 60 minutes at full power. They can be charged with USB-C, and they have built-in magnets for easy mounting. Also, K21 screw mounts on both sides, so they're really easy and quick to mount. So you could also attach these lights to each other, or just use the flat surface with the rubber grip at the bottom to place the light on a flat surface. Inside of the box you'll find a light, instruction manual, and a USB-C cable. There's no power brick included, but those are really easy to find these days. I'm sure every filmmaker has a few of those. The lights are 30 centimeters in length, so they're really easy to transport. I use my own bag, which fits 10 of the K21 tubes. We filmed a really cool music video, and it was fully lit with the K21 tubes. We had 10 of them on set, and we were filming inside of a container, so that gave us a cool opportunity to mount them in a few creative ways. We were filming the music video for around 3 hours on lower power settings, around 30 to 50% of brightness. We also did a few takes around 80% of brightness for those slow motion shots, and these lights were plenty bright in the lower brightness settings. And at the end of the shoot, I still had 3 bars left on the lights, so there was over 50% of battery left. We also used a strobing effect in a few of the music video setups, so that probably also helped with the battery life, as the lights weren't constantly on. If the battery dies, you can power the lights on at full power with the USB-C cable, but you won't be able to charge them at the same time as having them on at 100% brightness. The built-in magnets are really fantastic because we were filming in a container. All of the walls are metal, and I could easily stick the lights to any of the walls or the ceiling. In the first setup, I went for a mostly red look with a cool explosive pattern on the back wall.
Yo, what's up guys? Today we're shooting a music video for Paper City, setting up the tube lights from Weeylite. On the back wall, we've got the RGB red color, and up top we have strobe light. So we're creating contrast and using the app to set them up.
The second setup was opposite color-wise.
So we've changed the setup now. So now we have 9 tube lights going around the container, and then 1 in the background. So the one in the center gonna do a flashing sequence, and the one in the back we're gonna set to red.
I have set these tube lights to the ambulance effect, which has blue strobing light, and had a very interesting effect where the artist's face was being lit from different sides at different times, and it made it seem like actually the light was moving and rotating around the artist. So that was really cool.
So setup number 3, going for a clean look. Gonna have them constantly on white, and then when the chorus hits, we're gonna change them to strobing.
Now let's have a look how to set these lights up. First of all, setting these lights up without an app is super easy. The buttons are really clicky and allow you to cycle through the settings really fast. And if you need a little bit more of a precise control, you can just tap the buttons a few times and adjust at 1% increments. So the set button cycles through the 4 different modes: CCT, HSI, RGBW, and scene. The function button cycles through the settings such as brightness, saturation, intensity, and any other setting which is available in different modes. If you press and hold the set button, you'll get to change the group of the lights. These groups correspond to the ones on the Weeylite Pro app. So if you want to group these lights to individually control them via the app, you need to change the group settings on the light itself. For example, when filming the music video, I had 9 of the lights on the same group, 1A, and the other light was set to group 1B. This allowed me to have different controls for the 2 groups. The app has 6 groups, but it also has 19 channels available, so that gives you 114 lights to individually control. The first time I opened the app, I was really surprised because all the lights just immediately connected to my phone without any other prior setup. So it's basically a ready out of the box experience. The app also is really quick and responsive when changing all of the settings. The app interface is really simple to use. On the top, we have the different groups and channels, as well as the on-off switch for all the individual groups. First of all, let's have a look at CCT mode. We have a few presets and a few color temperature parameters to control. We can control the temperature of the lights as well as the magenta and green shift. Next, we have the HSI mode where you can control the colors. So we have hue, saturation, and intensity control. I really like it that when you desaturate the colors in HSI mode, the white LEDs actually kick in. This feature is mostly present on higher end lights, so it's really cool to see it here as well. RGBWY mode lets you control the individual sliders, so you can mix and match any color with the sliders using red, green, blue, yellow, and white. XY coordinates is another way to pick your colors. Color chips has a bunch of gels that you can pick from. And next we have effects. There are quite a few good and useful effects for music videos, such as flash, burst, flash lamp, blink, and weld. You'll find a lot more as you scroll down. One of my favorite things about the effects menu is that you can also control the effects at 3 different speeds. Other effects are TV, fireworks, police, ambulance, RGB loop, club, and different color waves, which are basically the light fading in and out. Next, we have the color picker, which I'll show you in a second. And lastly, we have my scene mode, which allows you to save and recall specific colors and modes you've set. This could be really handy if you're filming the same scene over a few days and you need to make sure that all the settings and all the colors are exactly the same every single time. I also used the K21 tubes to bring in some color for an interview setup. I mounted 2 of the tube lights on the light stand, one with the Q20 thread and the other one just magnetically. There are 2 tubes on each side of the white paper backdrop. These tubes will light up the background and we can just adjust the color and see which one fits best for this interview. Another K21 tube goes above the subject. I have mounted this light on an extension arm coming from the light stand, and this is what we call a hair light or a backlight, and it's really important to have it to separate the subject from the background. Our key light was set up with a diffuser and grid to have soft directional lighting. I have used the Ninja 400 Mark II from Weeylite as the key, as it allowed me to control the K21 lights as well as the key light with the same Weeylite Pro app. I used grouping to separately adjust the different groups of lights. So this is how the shot looks like just with the hair light, now with the background lights on. And finally we turn on the key light. We also tried a few different background color options in HSI mode and even a few white modes in CCT, which worked really well for this setup. Now, getting back to the color picker on the app, it is a really cool feature which allows you to pick any color with a smartphone camera and replicate it with these lights. So as you can see, I was able to change the color of the light just by pointing the camera and pressing pickup. You can also recall images from your phone gallery to pick up specific colors. Let's say you have a screenshot of a really cool scene from a film. You could replicate those colors with these lights as well. The K21 tube lights are really good for doing product videos. First setup is fairly simple. I have set up 2 K21 tubes to light up the background and 1 tube is mounted right above the product. After taking a closer look at the shot, you can notice that the light from the top does spill onto the backdrop. The light beam angle is pretty wide on these tubes, which is good, but for specific shots like these, if you need a quick solution to narrow down the beam, you can always use a little bit of tinfoil. It's a super simple trick. Put it around the light and you'll be able to narrow down the beam angle, basically creating DIY barn doors. This really helped to focus the light onto the product and keep the background light saturated and vivid. For this kind of a product shoot, I'd like to get a few tripod shots first. And to make this shot more dynamic, I put the product onto a turntable so it can keep spinning, and I also unlocked the top light to have some movement of the light. Moving the top light allows me to lighten and darken the product, and it adds a bit of interest and movement to the product as the light and shadows change their position. Now we are stepping it up by adding a few extra lights and reflecting them in the product. So I have 4 tubes set up around the camera and set them to different groups than my background light so I can individually control the colors and see what works best for this product. I also really love how these lights look in shot, so I've added a few more tube lights and placed them behind the product so it's mostly backlit. We still have that one top light that's lighting up the product from the front. One thing that looks really good when backlit is water. So I grabbed a little water mist bottle and created a rain effect. I also changed the background lights and used the effects mode to create flicker. So overall, I'm super happy with the way these shots turned out, especially the backlit product shots. Another thing you could do with these lights is turn them into a triangle light, sort of similar to a ring light. This kind of setup would be great for social media content, Instagram, TikTok, etc. Because these lights have Q20 mounts on both sides, it's really easy to link them together with a magic arm. And of course, at the center of the rig, I have mounted a phone holder. This is really a quick setup. You'll just need a few magic arms to link it all together. You can definitely rig up some crazy cool setups with these lights. Just think outside of the box. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial video and got some cool ideas of how to use Weeylite K21 lights on your projects. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.
I'ma need safety. Tell the op can't snake me. Ray gun off safety. My girl